Thank you. Yeah. So you got like you got some car, you got a wife, but you get their Patterson. You know exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. All right. Well, you know what? He was big man. Yeah. But I remember, me and him were on the same line, so we were just racking. But I remember, you know, like, so and then I remember I was there because, you know, Holmes was really all this teams, just like the really newspaper. And John, I remember this and then John is one who scored. Well, actually, no, that was where he had 11 points. We never cared. But stats. But yeah, that's how we got to know. Well, you know, I invited him to a party. This is just before training. So that was some quick friends. I invited him. And but it was sad because I remember that was the very last time I saw him. Because he said, "Oh, no, so I said, "Wow, I guess I won't." And in those days, you know, that's not feeling on my Facebook. If I had a Facebook, I would never. It's not even nobody. So there's nothing, you know, so I said, so I wrote to him. But what was great about John, you know, we huge impression. So you knew that, you know, but it's very, it's like when I saw it. So that's the best part. He is big heart. Just, yeah. I just asked the guy knew Yeah, well, we're done, because I had to let it go, and just. Oh, yeah, sure. Thursdays and Saturdays. Wait, just what, season tickets? Yeah, well, listen, this CNBC, but, I see something like, you guys like, push it out, because, I see. Yep. But, once in a while, you'll go. Because I was Cool. You're from around here? Oh, yeah, no, well, yeah, there's a, yeah, oh, yeah. There's a, oh, yeah, yeah. I got a friend. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find the one yesterday. She's Mark, her nephew, died last week. He was over Mark his family was way up there. You never know.
But I found both yesterday.
Yeah, that's why Mark said they have a two.
Very good. I've been very I was at one of them.
That's right.
Yeah. 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 Oh, yeah, okay. Really? Yeah. There's a picture in carousel. They used it on their advertising. Have a picture of me, a guy spotted it. Oh, there it is. So bit of exploding. You know, being dragged out of water. Well, this is carousels advertising. That's good. I got a good one of that. My father's in it's amazing. But I'll tell you, favorite was in between Crystal and God down in the valley. It's so cool because the water is so like 40 feet. so what else, did I hear? I heard can you keep the team together?
You want us to all sit on this side, so Dad's.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Dad, you want to sit over here and say John?
bright shining as the sun. We know last day to sing and when we first
Good evening. My name is Kathy Vanderwood, and on behalf of myself and the Carruthers and Davidson staff, I welcome you to our Wasaga Beach Chapel. In a moment, our funeral celebrant, Alicia Savage, will begin our ceremony to remember and celebrate the life of Dorothy Jean Meekings. On behalf of John Jr., and Sandy, David and Patricia, and the rest of the family, I want to thank you for your presence here today, both in person and via the live stream. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to come and support the family on this important and somber day. During our ceremony today, Alicia will help lead us through Dorothy's story. We will hear from those who knew her best, as well as watch a special video tribute of family photos set specifically to music chosen for today. We will laugh, we will cry, but most importantly, we will remember a life well lived. It is said that life is not measured by the breaths that we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. I believe that all of you who knew Dorothy would agree that she truly lived her life beyond measure. As you arrived here today, you were given the opportunity to take a wooden heart and write a special memory or message to Dorothy. We will conclude our service today with an opportunity to place those hearts in the basket next to the casket and take a rose to place with Dorothy as we file past and leave this room. You will then be directed to the lower lounge where the family is hosting a reception. This is an opportunity to continue to share your memories and stories with the family and celebrate Dorothy's life and the impact that she had on each of you. There is an elevator located in the foyer for those not wishing to use the stairs, and our staff would be happy to assist you. Once again, thank you for supporting the family today. Alicia.
Don't weep at my grave, for I am not there. I've a date with the butterfly to dance in the air. I'll be singing in the sunshine while it dries up the dew, playing tag with the wind while I'm waiting for you. Butterflies, beautiful, graceful, fragile, creatures whose outward appearance belies the incredible strength, stamina, and persistence that allows them to thrive. A fitting description of the woman we celebrate today. A woman whose own beauty and grace brought love and joy to so many. Dorothy Jean Harris Meekings loved butterflies, as well as most animals, birds, handcrafts, and gardening. Most of all, Dorothy loved social events and planning those events for the special people in her life. How appropriate it is, then, that those special people are gathered here this afternoon to honor the influence she's had in our lives. For those who cannot be physically present for various reasons, particularly family and friends in England, we are grateful that you have joined us through the live stream feed for this special time of remembrance. This is a place where we can be ourselves, where we can find comfort in being together. And so I invite you to remember Dorothy and allow her spirit to fill your hearts and minds. Dorothy's death came after a series of unforeseen events. And no doubt with the holidays mixed in, the last couple of weeks have been, well, somewhat surreal as you've started to learn to navigate life without your wife, your mother, Nana or Nanny, sister, aunt, and friend. This time today is one step in the journey of grief, a step made just a little easier because we can take it together. It was February 1954 when in South London, John Meekings first laid eyes on Dorothy, where they both attended a Presbyterian church young people's group. She was just 17, but a few months later when the group attended a weekend retreat, it seems that John had also caught Dorothy's eye, and the train trip home was the beginning of close to 70 years together. Maya Angelou said, "We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty." Dorothy's life began in a time of fear, suffering, and conflict. Her early memories were dominated by the Second World War, being rushed by her mother into tunnels and bunkers as air raid sirens screamed, hearing the thunder of bombs finding their targets and feeling the ground shift as buildings collapsed around them. The years following the war were tough too, as England struggled to get back on its feet when rations were still in place and while life was dominated by simple survival. The goodwill and generosity of Canadian troops that continued to serve as the country rebuilt was not lost on the British, so many of whom sought out futures across the pond, as did the Meekings. Just 2 days after her 21st birthday, John and Dorothy were married. 8 years later, John landed in Canada, while Dorothy was to wait until the new year to give John a chance to get established. But after just 3 weeks apart, she surprised him, and the two pursued their dream. Theirs was a generation defined by change and a lot of good old hard work. Along the way, they created a home, welcomed 2 sons, and gradually earned the means for recreation, activities, and travel. Dorothy continued her work as a dictaphone typist, spending much of her career in a medical office, all the while keeping a meticulous home, doing every sort of needlework, including embroidery, knitting, crocheting, rug hooking, and even sewing costumes for the Newmarket Theater troupe. She cooked, she baked, and gardened, never being without the flowers that she loved so much. On top of all that, she found time to sing in the choir of Trinity United Church. She also donated her time and her organizing talent in managing the senior men's soccer team. So great was Dorothy's ability to juggle her responsibilities with the team that when she said enough is enough after 5 years, the team fell apart because no one could fill her shoes. Well, I guess not. After all, Dorothy scheduled the matches, called everyone with reminders, bought the food and beer for post-game, cut up the obligatory oranges, and yes, collected all the jerseys and washed them. Resilient, meticulous, feisty, extremely proper, all descriptions appropriately used when talking about this amazing woman, and all used by John Bukovich when I spoke with him. And while he can't be here for the service, he is with us online. John B., as I'll call him, so as not to be confused with John Sr., John Jr., and probably others named John here today. John B. met and became friends with John Jr. while both were serving in the military in the early 90s. And he has been a part of the Meekings family ever since. More recently, John B.'s proximity to John Sr. and Dorothy's Woodland Beach home has allowed him to help out with rides to appointments, some household tasks, and lots of meals and visits. He is especially grateful for more recent times when Dorothy would, well, almost summon him for a visit, something he was always happy to do, for he so enjoyed these opportunities. Just as he wrote on her Carruthers and Davidson Memorial webpage, Dorothy, a matriarch of the Meekings family, who to me was auntie, a confidant, a mother figure. I will miss those sage conversations we had together, as she was a sounding board to my life, as a mother would speak to her son. I have known and loved her for over 30 years, and I never got tired of conversing with her. That I will miss. Rest in peace, Mom. Now, John B. chuckled when he used the word feisty for Dorothy, but in a good way. The strength of a proper British lady who did not tolerate discrimination of any kind and whose very presence could bring decorum to a room, particularly a dining room. Setting a beautiful table was effortless for Dorothy, whose own dining room apparently was off limit to her grandkids, locked up tight until Christmas dinner or other such occasions would find all crowded around and on their very best behavior. Nephew Peter and family have also enjoyed countless times with Aunt Dorothy, and no doubt were subject to her expectations as well. He and wife Marion, along with children Holly and Joseph, wrote, "Dearest Aunt Dorothy, thank you for everything you did for us when we came to Canada. We loved hearing your memories of the family over the years. Your stories brought tears, but also laughter. We love you and will miss you always." And for some words from them directly, I would invite Marion and Holly to come forward to share with us now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to read a poem called Gone From My Sight. I am standing on the seashore, a ship at my side spreads her white sails to the moving breeze and heads to the blue ocean. She is an object of beauty and strength. I stand and watch her until she hangs like a speck of white cloud, just where the sea and sky mingle with each other. Then someone at my side says, "There, she is gone." Gone where? Gone from my sight, that is all. She is as beautiful as she was when she left my side, and is just as able to bear her load of living freight to her destined port. Her diminished size is in me, not in her. And just at that moment when someone said, "There she is gone," there are other eyes watching her coming, and other voices shout in excitement, "Here she comes," and that is crossing over.
I wrote a letter to Aunt Dorothy. Dear Aunt Dorothy, first of all, since I know you're here with us today, I want to wish you a Happy New Year. This one has definitely been harder for those of us here because it started with a huge U-sized hole in it. But today I'm writing to let you know all the things that I have loved and appreciated about you, because those are far nicer thoughts. There is no better place to start than with your kindness and big heart. There aren't many people who in their 70s would open their home up to a family of 4, including a somewhat moody teenager and a 5-year-old armed with an endless supply of Hot Wheels cars, fire trucks and tractors, but you and Uncle John did exactly that for us. We arrived in Canada a little sad and a little unsure, but you both understood those feelings because you took those same steps together 40 years earlier when you moved to Canada. You eased our transition into Canadian life, helping us nail down the lingo, everything from loonies and toonies to double doubles, though I'm glad you stood proudly on the correct side of the aluminum versus aluminium debate. Tim Hortons was the very first place you took us when we left the airport, and we got our first taste of hockey watching the Maple Leafs on the TV in the basement. You enlightened us to the joy of pumpkin pie at Thanksgiving, Clamato Caesars, and cowboy steaks on the barbecue in the summer. And I'm eternally grateful for that last one. Family always meant so much to you. You were so proud to be both a Harris and a Meekings, and I can't count the number of stories I heard about your parents and childhood, how you so clearly remembered the little details about each of your brothers and sisters, how you and Uncle John met and moved to Canada, and the life you built here. The photos of siblings, parents, children, and grandchildren throughout your house showing your pride and joy. While we were terrified whenever your beautiful crystal curio cabinet would tinkle every time Joe ran across the room or drove his race car right into the bottom of it, you never seemed fazed, always insisting that we let him play. One of the things I truly admired about you is how much you enjoyed your hobbies, like needlecrafts, whether that was needlepoint, cross-stitch, sewing, or quilting. It's probably my greatest regret that I didn't ask you to teach me to sew so that I too could have beautiful, handmade, and seasonally appropriate runners, placemats, and cushion covers. You always decorated for the seasons, which I thought was fabulous, and that's something that Mum and I have definitely taken on. I treasure the quilt I have in my office and the beautiful cross-stitch bride you gave me for my wedding, and will treasure them for years to come. I also remember being amazed the first time I saw yours and Uncle John's bookshelves. I don't think I'd ever seen that many books in someone's house before. I remember spending ages running my fingers over the spines, trying to take in all the titles. On one of our visits a few years ago, I was really surprised and tickled to see you using a Kindle, of all things. I could go on and on. I have so many more memories of you, but I suppose what it all comes down to is thank you. Thank you for the things you said and did, and thank you for being what you were to each of us. We all miss you so much, but you're still with us in the little things we do every day. And I know there was a massive Harris party waiting for you on the other side. I bet Uncle Reg had his Tweety hat on, and everyone did the time warp at least once. So until we meet again, however long that may be, give everyone there my love, and make sure you save me a sausage roll. Love you always, from Holly.
I hadn't heard about the time warp. Well, John Jr. and David both talked about how hard it could be for the grandkids to cope with Nana's high standards. They also acknowledged that just as she had done for them, Dorothy wanted to ensure that all would be comfortable in any environment or social setting. John B. suggested granddaughter Lyra would be most able to explain Nana's expectations of what it meant to be a proper lady. Yes, she could be intense, but her lessons have been embraced by Kanan, Lyra, Jonah, Alexander, and Devon, whose webpage tribute reads, "We love and miss you, Nana. Thank you for all of the great times, the laughs, and the memories." Kanan also called his Nana a bright light, giving her thanks for all she did for him. Now, Dorothy loved music. Country was a favorite. Artists such as Randy Travis, whom we heard sing Amazing Grace as we began. But she also enjoyed Julio Iglesias, Engelbert Humperdinck, Kenny Rogers. But she loved the Bee Gees and loved Nat King Cole. So as we continue to celebrate Dorothy, we are fortunate to have opportunity to view a special video presentation created by Carruthers and Davidson from family photos and set to some of this special music. As we watch, I invite you to sit back and reflect on your own memories of times with Dorothy. Please turn your attention to the screen.
touch me in the pouring rain, and the moment that you wander far from me, I wanna feel you in my arms again. And you come to me on a summer breeze, keep me warm in your love, then you softly leave, and it's me you need to show. How deep is your love? Is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn, 'cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me. I believe in you. You know the door to my very soul. You're the light in my deepest, darkest doubt. You're my savior when I fall. And you may not think I care for you, when you know down inside that I really do. And it's me you need to show. How deep is your love? Is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn, 'cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me. Na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na. Can you come to me on a summer breeze, keep me warm in your love, then you softly leave, and it's me you need to show. How deep is your love? Is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn, 'cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me. How deep is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn, 'cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me. How deep is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn, 'cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. That's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
Beautiful, graceful, varied, and enchanting. Small but approachable, butterflies lead you to the sunny side of life, and everyone deserves a little sunshine. There was a lot of sunshine in the beautiful moments we just saw. Love those old photos. And they brought back so many memories, especially the Bee Gees. At least for me and any of my generation. Dorothy may have been somewhat old-fashioned, but it doesn't appear to be when it came to music. Music may have been the impetus for her ladies' trip to Wheeling, West Virginia, or maybe for the family's visit to Nashville. There were also repeated returns to England, especially to visit Dorothy's youngest sister, Margaret, who is now the last surviving Harris sibling, of whom there were 6. Margaret is with us virtually this evening, or should I say tonight, as in the UK, it's already past my bedtime. John Jr. and David have found many fond and fun memories. There were those trips and others with their parents, the one to Florida, and then, of course, they hit all the highlights. They reminisced about the good, happy childhood they enjoyed in Newmarket, describing Dorothy as caring and giving, and of course, noting her strict expectations. But it seems Dorothy could be as comfortable sitting in a sports venue as at a royal dinner, for she rarely, if ever, missed a baseball, soccer, or hockey practice or game, cheering from the stands. There were also swimming lessons and day trips to Jackson's Point, not to mention the endless creatures the boys would bring back from the forest near their home. Those are the animals Dorothy didn't love so much. But they redeemed themselves, picking wild berries that Mom would make into jam. The same Mom who, as they told me, taught them to be good people. They even called her a perfect mom. There's no doubt that John and David were the sunshine of Dorothy's life. And so we're fortunate now that John is going to come forward and share some of his personal reflections of Mom. And Sandy? John's definitely going to need that taller.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. Just wrote a little something for Mom. Dear Mom, there were times when we clashed, times where we hugged, times where we laughed. Those are the times I cherish the most. And times we didn't see eye to eye. But most of all, we felt love and respect for each other as wives, mothers, and nanas. You were the strongest woman that I have ever known. You told me about your childhood and the hard times you endured. You shed tears when you spoke about the loss of your mom and dad. You loved your brothers and sisters dearly and with all of your heart. You were the glue that held this family together, and your eyes sparkled whenever you spoke of them, especially your husband, John, your sons, John and David, your grandchildren, Canaan, Lyra, Jonah, Alexander, and Devon, and your great-granddaughter, Lillian. You were so excited when you spoke of meeting your new great-grandson and giggled with glee when you saw Lyra's belly moving when the baby kicked in the video that she sent me. You loved gardening and tried to teach me how to keep plants flourishing, but unfortunately, I didn't have your green thumb. Your face lit up and your smile went from ear to ear every time anyone brought you flowers. And those big blue eyes, I will never forget them. The loving quilts that you made for members of the family that took you forever to make, but you made every single stitch with love. You were strict at times, but you loved with every fiber of your being. You were fiercely independent and stubborn as HE at double L hockey sticks, but we all loved that about you. The life that you made with the love of your life shows that you can accomplish what you can accomplish with the right person by your side. How many of us can boast that you were married to your soulmate, confidant, and partner for over 66 years? Mom gave me some great advice when I started dating John. She said that her and Dad never went to bed angry and always kissed each other goodnight. She said that you never knew if that would be the last moment you would spend together, and to ensure that you took the time to let each other know how much you loved them. Mom also loved the royal family and had tons of items in her beloved curio cabinet. It seemed that every time we went there, I noticed something else that I hadn't seen before. Mom read tons of books, as the totes in the basement can attest to. Before Dave bought her a Kindle, she would contact us to bring her more books the next time we came to visit, because she had nothing to read. Meanwhile, we had just bought her 4 of them the previous week. Mom was a hilarious, fun-loving, gregarious woman who loved everyone that came across her path. What we would all do to have one more minute with you, Mom. I hope you're looking down on us smiling, Mom, because that is what we are doing when we think of the wonderful person you were. And all of us, and all of the beautiful things you have done in your 87 years on this earth. You have left quite an impression on everyone you met, Mom, and nobody can ever fill those shoes of yours. Thank you for the wonderful memories, Mom. I know you were having one heck of a party and celebrating with your brothers, sisters, Mom, and Dad. Until I see you again, love you, Mom.
Hi, everybody. Thank you all for coming. Before I start, there's a couple of things that I wanted to read. One of these things my dad asked me to read that it's probably going to make me cry. The marriage prayer. Lord, help us to remember when we first met and the strong love that grew between us. To work that love into practical things so that nothing can divide us. We ask for words both kind and loving and hearts always ready to ask for forgiveness as well as to forgive. Dear Lord, put our marriage into your hands. Amen. Thank you, Dad. We've talked a little bit about the live stream with people that are across the pond and across the country. So they've all sent us information on these hearts, and I wanted to read them so that they're intimate with each person. So I'm going to start with the person who was spoken about earlier, Book, or John Bukovic. Everyone calls him Book, just because there's too many Johns. So, and we met in the military in 1991, and that was just his nickname. So he asked me to write this card for him. It just says simply, "Goodbye, Mom. Rest in peace. See you on the other side someday. Love, Book," with two crosses, X's, I guess, or kisses. This is from the Brackley family. R.I.P. Dorothy. All our love always, the Brackley family. Mark, Gary, Lorraine, Diane, and George. 2 kisses. This is from Auntie Marilyn in England. Dear Dorothy, thoughts of you always make me smile. Love, Marilyn, with 2 kisses. Auntie Margaret, Mom's sister, that we just heard about. This is from her. Sister, we have a bond between us, you and I, that stems from our beginning, and however great the distance between us, nothing will ever break that bond. Love, your sister Margaret, with 2 kisses. A couple from the grandchildren. I'll leave them till last. This is from Leslie, our cousin in England. God bless Aunt Dorothy. I'm so fortunate to have had so many opportunities to create magical, special moments with you, memories with you. Your light will always shine. Leslie, with 3 kisses. And I think there's one more. Aunt Dorothy, this is from Cousin Gail and Jill. Aunt Dorothy, thank you for your kindness and open heart. Fly high. Love, Gail and Jill. So now from our grandchildren, and you see in the back it says, I love you and miss you, Nana. To Nana, I love you very much, Nana, and you will be deeply missed by us all. Love, Devin. This one's from Canaan. I love you, Nana. Thank you for everything you did and always being there for us. You are such a bright light in our lives. You will always be in my heart and mind. Love, Canaan, with 2 kisses, and I love you and miss you, Nana, on the back. From Lyra to Nana, I hope wherever you are, you will look over me and my family as they grow. Although your grandbabies live far, you are deeply loved by them. Love you, Nana. Love, Lyra, with 2 kisses, and I love you and miss you, Nana, on the back. From Jonah, dear Nana, I will always love and miss you. Thank you for being the role model and shaping me into the person I am today. I will cherish the memories we have had together as a family for the rest of my life. You will be in my heart forever. Love you. It's from Jonah. You want to read that one?
Okay. This is from Alex and Berfam. Dorothy Meekings brought warmth, kindness, and
Cherished
memories to our lives. She was a source of inspiration, spreading joy through comforting words and simple acts of kindness. Though she may no longer be with us physically, her spirit lives on in the memories we hold dear. Let us find peace in knowledge that she leaves behind a tapestry of moments etched in our hearts. As we honor her memory, may we draw strength from the love, compassion, and generosity that defined her life. In this time of grief, let us support one another and find comfort in the enduring legacy Dorothy Meekings has left us. Love, Alex and Berfam.
Thank you, guys. I just wanted to do that so that the words were spoken, not just only on the hearts, because because they couldn't be here to speak themselves. So I guess best to start off with, I want to tell you a very interesting story that happened last night and again this morning. So one of Mom's favorite music was the Bee Gees. She loved the Bee Gees. And when I was young, I did too. I think we all have a little bit of that in us. So we were sitting last night having dinner, Sandy and I, and we were talking about the Bee Gees and about selection of music. And we know Mom has such a great sense of humor. So I happened to say, well, the only song that I really wouldn't like to be played at the funeral is Staying Alive. And I tell you, within minutes in the restaurant, the song Staying Alive came on the radio. It blew. It was too much. So this morning, I'm in the shower, and Mom's here with us, and Mom's going to smile when I say this. I'm going to tell you what I was thinking. Mom always said to me, I don't like it when you shave your head, so I decided to let my hair grow today. And as I said that, the song Staying Alive came on the radio. Within minutes, it was unbelievable. So, Mom, we know you're here. And we thank you for coming, because, man, it's too much. So I'm going to try and start over with this now again, the way I thought I was going to say it, but those things had to be spoken. So we'll start again and see if I can read this without crying. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. And these are true things. I see a lot of faces I haven't seen in a long time. And I'm very sorry that we're gathered here today under these circumstances. I really am. When I look around this chapel, I see a testament to the life, character, love, compassion, and empathy Mom shared with everyone she met. It's the reason everybody is here. Mom was one of those people who was unforgettable and had an impact on every person she met, even if the meeting was by chance and only for a moment. We all know that. We all loved her. Mom was the matriarch of our family. She loved intensely. She was a fierce protector of us all. She was a party planner, socialite, organizer, manager, gardener, seamstress, wife, mom, nana, great nana, friend, confidant, teacher, nurse, doctor, and sometimes, as teenagers, well, most times, warden. Absolutely right. We were challenging at best as teenagers. But most of all, she was a beautiful ray of light that shined upon us all. And we don't have to talk that. Everybody knows it. Mom, you had my heart from the first moment we met. Yes, you were my mom, but you were also so many other people's mom, loved by everybody. Sorry, it's hard to read when the tears are in your eyes. I spent a lot of time thinking about speaking with you all today. I really wasn't sure how it was going to encapsulate this time, her amazing life, and the emotion of the recent events that have culminated in our gathering here today. I miss you, Mom. I have not been able to process the loss of you in my life. In the empty space within my heart, which will always long for your essence to fill the void. Sorry, guys. I knew this was going to happen. You were an amazing light that filled the room when you entered. Your sense of humor filled the spaces within time. Your laugh and beautiful smile surrounded us all with a warm hug, ensuring we left your home feeling whole. My life was enriched by you in so many ways, and I'd like to share a couple of those stories. One of the stories that you touched on a little bit is Dave and I, where we lived in Newmarket, there was a forest at the end of the road, and we spent a lot of time there as kids, doing all sorts of crazy stuff, right? Being Superman, being hunters, being Indians, cowboys, all that silliness. But one thing we did like to do was like to catch snakes and praying mantises. We loved that. We would put little pieces of boards out in the forest, and we'd go every day and check them, and there'd always be snakes there. So one day, in our infinite wisdom, we decided to bring some home. We brought a bunch of them home, and we had them in the backyard. They were kind of like pets. Mom was really not cool with it, but she's like, okay, I get it. I'll support you guys. No problem. So this brood of snakes kept getting bigger and bigger until one day something happened. One got out. The dog next door ate half of it, and my mom found half a snake laying on the grass. You can imagine, all those snakes were gone. Everything was gone within 15 minutes. Yeah. We took them all back to the forest and let them go. We didn't kill anything. We were not like that. But we never brought any animals home since, other than a dog. Another story from the forest that we talked about was Dave and I, innocently, Mom loved flowers. So we're in the forest one day, and we're like, whoa, look at these flowers. These are beautiful. Let's pick them all. We go home with big bouquets of trilliums. We thought they were beautiful. Walked in the door, and my mom went, you know that picture in there where she's like, it was like that. What are you doing? Anyway, it was already done, so she put them in nice bouquets and had them around the house, but we never did that again. And one little story my dad talks about is the day that Dave and I went fishing, and we weren't very good fishermen. We didn't catch anything, but somebody else did, caught a big fish. So we took that fish and brought it home and told my mom that we caught it. She was all over it. She's like, wow, you guys are amazing, talking about it. And then we're like, Mom, we actually didn't catch it. So, yeah, she smiled and laughed, but she's probably a little annoyed, a little bit. There are so many other stories that bring a smile to the face each day she was around. How fiercely she defended us children when the next door neighbor would scream at us when our ball went over the fence into their yard. Mom was like a commando. She was all over it, man. She would not let those people be like that. And she talked often about her time as a kid in the war and how much she enjoyed receiving candy from the soldiers because they were always giving candy out, and she loved that. And then she had the one story of when she was walking down the street, I guess from school, and she heard this noise behind her. She turned, and there was a U.S. tank coming towards her. And she turned and ran right into a lamppost and split her forehead open. She still had a scar there to this day. And the one story that made her smile the way only Mom could smile was the story of Dad having a mechanical spider and letting it go in the girls' room to scare the life out of them all. That always made her smile and beam with love. She talked about that all the time, and, it's vivid for sure. Mom, we're all going to miss you immensely, and there are no words that can heal our loss. But I know you're in the room with us as I tell these stories, and I can see your smile and hear your laughter. The next part was what I just talked about the Bee Gees. Sorry, I couldn't wait. I had to tell that first. The only part I didn't remember to say was that the song came on the radio within minutes to make a humorous point. Touché, Mom. And now every time I hear the words, the song, Staying Alive, I'm going to think of you. When God sits with you and looks at your book of life, I know it will be forever changed by the experience, and will be looking forward to spending more time with the beautiful soul He's created. We all love you, Mom, and we know you'll be waiting with a smile and a big Mama Bear hug that always makes us feel at home and safe in your care. Although you're not here in body, we know your energy surrounds each and every one of us every moment of each day. In this way, we'll always have you with us. God bless, Mom. There's nobody like you, and the world is a little less sunny without you. You were my first love, and I thank you for the life that you've given us and the influence you had on me to mold me into the man I am today. I love you, miss you, and cherish the time we had. I'll see you again, Mom, and what a party it'll be.
A butterfly lights beside us like a sunbeam. And for a brief moment, its glory and beauty belong to our world. But then it flies again. And though we wish it could have stayed, we feel lucky to have seen it. I know it's hard to feel lucky today as you think of Dorothy, and it's likely difficult to imagine ever feeling lucky again now that Dorothy has flown from this life. But today is a big step along the journey of grief, a journey that is unique for each person. There's no prescribed path. There's no set timeline. Grief is not something we get over, but rather that something that has to be worked through. It's like walking through water. Sometimes there are little waves lapping at our feet. Sometimes there's an enormous breaker that knocks us down. Sometimes there is a sudden and fierce squall. But many waters cannot quench love, and neither can floods drown it. Grief is a part of life. It allows us to heal, to remember with love rather than pain, so we can value the life that was lived. There's so much about Dorothy's life to be valued. Each of you and all who knew her have been influenced in some way. In a time that is right for you, you will learn to live out what was best in Dorothy's life. This is her legacy. In just a moment, Kathy will return, and we will guide you for a final goodbye to Dorothy. As she said, there are roses for everyone who wishes to participate. As we pass by the casket, you can place it inside. And those who have your wooden hearts ready can also place them in the basket. We will direct the rows from the center aisle, and then you can exit through the far door, through the lobby, and down to the reception. Mourn not the cocoon, for the butterfly has flown. Dorothy has flown, but she is not gone. All of you are her legacy. So light up that Christmas pudding in December. Read a James Patterson or a Clive Cussler novel. Marvel at the birds, pet a dog, or put on some Bee Gees and dance around. Whatever it is that connects you to Dorothy, embrace her influence, for no one is truly gone as long as they are not forgotten. Depart in peace and love one another in Dorothy's memory. Amen.
Thank you.